from the bureaus of propaganda of the Axis powers came the confident prophecy that the conquest of our country would be an inside job. The determination of America must not and will not be obstructed by war profiteering.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
There's a need for a new world order, but it has different characteristics in different parts of the world.
Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
Live from New York, Lou Dobbs.
Good evening, everybody. President Obama and British Prime Minister Gordon today calling for a new world order to tackle our global economic crisis.
As far as the common interests that we're pursuing, look, there is the possibility in the next few months of a global New Deal that will involve all the countries of the world.
France intends to pursue, together with all people of goodwill around the world, this battle to build the new world order of the 21st century.
So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, a new world is emerging. It is a new world order with significantly different and radically new challenges for the future.
I think his task will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when really a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity. It isn't just a crisis.
In this new world, such dangerous currents have swept along faster than our efforts to contain them. And that is why we cannot afford to be divided. No one nation, no matter how large or powerful, can defeat such challenges alone.
One, our first and most important specific undertaking should be to restore the complete independence of the United States. This includes our resolution to get us out of the United Nations and get the United Nations out of the United States. Two, we must once again make our money freely redeemable in gold at some realistic price. And we must take all practicable legislative steps to prevent a recurrence of the enormous thievery and other subversive crimes that have been perpetrated on the American people through a contrived inflation by every president from Franklin Roosevelt through Richard Nixon. Three, we should reduce the number of government bureaus, of government civilian employees, and the whole quantity of government by at least 50%. And we should achieve at least this much reduction in proper fashion through gradually convincing a majority of the American people of the wisdom of such a course. Four, we should withdraw all American troops from every spot on earth that is not American soil, except when and where such troops may be required as decided by Congress to protect American lives and property from criminal vandalism. Five, we should get government out of the areas and functions and activities where government does not belong. Again, Again, all steps to this end should be taken gradually, but nevertheless just as rapidly as enough of the American people can be persuaded to support such progress.
Did you ever think in our lifetime we'd be getting lectures from the communist Chinese on capitalism, that Nicolas Sarkozy and other leaders of France, that we'd be getting lectures?
Would be criticizing us for spending too much.
Criticizing America and warning America, interestingly, not to go down the path to socialism.
But there is a big thing that's going to happen in London at this G20, and then they're hiding it, they're camouflaging it, they're not talking about it. Coordination of international regulation. What they are going to do is to put our Fed and our SEC under the control, in effect, of the IMF.
Oh, come on.
They're
You
going
believe
to
they'll do this?
That's what was in the draft agenda. They call it coordination of regulation. What it really is putting the American economy under international regulation.
Yeah.
And those people who have been yelling, oh, the UN's going to take over global
Conspiracy
government.
theorists.
They've been crazy, but now they're right.
Yeah, well, when
It's happening.
When Geithner said he would be open to the idea of a global currency last week,
yeah.
Those conspiracy people had said and suggested that for years.
Right.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And you know, it's what they always do at these conferences is they have the center show is here, and the side show they don't want you to pay attention to.
Right.
The center show is the size of the stimulus packages.
Yeah.
The real show is international regulation of the financial institutions, which is going to happen under the IMF control. And remember, the IMF is run by Europeans, the World Bank by Americans.
But everybody does something that they can get in trouble for. I can follow as a police officer when I was in uniform. I could follow a car however long I needed to, and eventually they're going to do something illegal, and I can pull them over. And justifiably illegal to pull them over with. So just be aware of that. Don't think you're so innocent in such a thing. When you get stopped for a traffic ticket, everyone likes to be somewhat honest. And what's the first thing the police officer asks you? Do you know how fast you're going? If the speed limit's 35, you'll say, oh, 38, 40, because you want to be kind of honest even though you're doing 50. You just said 38, 40. You just admitted to breaking the law. You just confessed. So they can go to court with that, with a confession that you were exceeding the speed limit.
In the city that never sleeps, Big Brother may soon be staying awake watching you. Mary Snow's on the streets of New York right now with more on this story. Mary, what's going on?
Well, Wolf, the city's police commissioner says that New York lags behind cities like London and Paris when it comes to surveillance, and he's pushing for more cameras to step up security. On Fordham Road, whether you're on foot or in a car, the New York City Police Department is watching, capturing your image, sometimes your license plate. Overhead cameras are rolling 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We will see them as a deterrence tool. So the fact that they're labeled NYPD, I think, may very well prevent anybody from doing something untoward, committing a crime.
The other goal, says New York City Police Commissioner Ray Kelly, is to deter terrorism. Kelly says New York trails behind cities like London, and he's using Homeland Security money to add more eyes. Here in the Bronx, police have been monitoring these streets with surveillance cameras for more than a year. They say it's cut down on crime, specifically robberies. Now the New York City Police Department wants to install cameras like this one throughout the entire city. 505 cameras are slated to create what some call a ring of steel around areas like the financial district, considered a prime target for terrorists. Critics question the move.
It's chilling that somebody in government knows every place I go and with whom and when. That's a little bit scary, I think.
Commissioner Kelly says New York is taking a page from London, where surveillance cameras helped track suspects in last summer's subway bombings.
They were a useful tool in London, and God forbid we have to use them to that degree here. But I think, they are an effective means of deterrence and also an effective investigative tool when needed.
The New York Civil Liberties Union is questioning whether the benefits of the cameras outweigh the erosion of privacy. But the police commissioner says that these cameras are not hidden, they are clearly labeled, and there is no expectation of privacy.